Getting straight into LinkedIn's paid media options. So if you are wanting to advertise on LinkedIn, you simply need to click the waffle menu in the top right hand corner and then click the drop down advertise. And there's three quite different formats on LinkedIn. The first of which is sponsored content, which works the same, for example, as a promoted post on Facebook. It essentially just boosts the reach of a post which is going out on LinkedIn. Then the middle one is a text ad. So that's in the right hand column on a desktop. It shows a tiny thumbnail and a very succinct ad message, and that's great for driving, for example, website traffic. And then you have your sponsored email, which allows you to inbox people on LinkedIn, for example, for recruitment purposes, or if you're wanting to sell B2B software or anything like that, where you want that personal one-on-one connection. So in terms of the objectives that you may have for LinkedIn, the first of which would be sending people to your website or to content. So sending people to a landing page after clicking your ads, and then using conversion tracking to see how many people actually take action as a result of your ad. Then the second objective that you may have is to collect leads, and this uses a totally different ad format entirely, which is a lead gen form. And so this collects accurate, complete lead data. So it basically pre-populates a form with information from your LinkedIn. And you're able to then, as an advertiser, download those leads from LinkedIn Campaign Manager. Then the third possible objective that you may have is to get video views, and this would mean uploading and sponsoring videos directly on the LinkedIn feed and maximizing views for your video content, and then measuring that via impressions, views by quartile or by quarter of the video completes and completion rates. So in terms of what the targeting options on LinkedIn are, they're pretty rich as far as targeting goes. So you can target by job function, which is quite a unique differentiator for the platform. You can target by seniority, company name. You can do your typical geo-targeting as well as industry-based targeting. Then in terms of your interest-based targeting, it works out based on the groups that someone's a part of, the skills that they've listed in their field of study, and targets people according to that. Then there's persona targeting, which LinkedIn basically assigns someone a persona, whether that be a job searcher, an opinion leader, mass or affluent business travelers, for example. You can target those segments as well, or you can import a list on Excel and then target those account lists directly. So in terms of sponsored content, so what would the reason for using a sponsored content be? It would be to facilitate engagement on a post. We know that it's placed directly in a user's newsfeed. It also means that you're able to use more text and slightly larger images, which will entice users to land on your page or bring more brand awareness, and is often used to attract people to a blog post. In terms of the text ads on the right-hand side, these are quick campaigns to set up, very easy to set up and manage, fantastic for brand awareness, and have a low CPM or cost per 1,000 impressions, presumably because the little thumbnail is so small. And then sponsored email is, as I say, if you're going for that highly personalized approach, direct messaging to a target audience. It helps you to lead your content or what you're trying to say. It guarantees 100% deliverability, and it also only sends the sponsored email when a user is online. So it seems very kind of intuitive to the user who's receiving it. Once you're in the campaign manager, you'll see a dashboard which looks something like this, and you can simply click create campaign. It'll then ask you to choose an ad product. So those are the three formats that we've just been through. For the purposes of this explanation, we're going to choose sponsored content, which is promoting content with targeted native advertising. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to name your campaign and put it into a campaign group. And then, of course, state your target audience language, which will be English, presumably. And then you can set your destination or landing page. So is that your page on LinkedIn, so the native page within the platform, or is that your website? Be sure, of course, when you select your website to use a trackable UTM link, if you choose to go this route, so that you can in fact attribute all the traffic that came from LinkedIn to this LinkedIn URL. And then on your right hand side, you'll see exactly how that ad format looks: square, horizontal, and long within the LinkedIn format. So what are the differences? Here you can see exactly what they are. It's quite self-explanatory, so I won't walk you through that, but essentially just showing the different ways in which creative and text can render on LinkedIn. Then when we get to text ads, there's some quite specific confines around this. As I mentioned, the size of the thumbnail is very small. It's 50 by 50 pixels. It's also got a very short headline and description. So if you have a wordy message that you're trying to convey, then text ads probably aren't the best bet for you, or they are, because they'll help you get a succinct message across to your audience. In terms of sponsored content, you need 150 characters max to avoid the truncation that occurs, but your thumbnail can be a lot larger and obviously a lot wider. In terms of video advertising, the possible objectives which are available for this are brand awareness, impressions, views, and view rates, as well as brand consideration, so view rates, the completion rates by quarter of the video, clicks and full screen plays, and then how much demand the video generates in terms of conversion rates, leads, and cost per conversion. So in terms of some video advertising tips, it's recommended that you A/B test the exact same content with quite different lengths. So a short clip, 5 to 15 seconds. This can be looped, so for example, an animated GIF or a cliffhanger. Medium, which is about 30 seconds, or long, which is 1 minute plus, which tells a far richer story. So for example, if you're trying to promote snippets from a recent webinar, then that's a great route to go.